It's already recorded. Yeah, go ahead.
Mayor, you could go ahead and start the meeting.
Call to order. Time is 6:11 p.m. on Wednesday, August 25th. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We use the flag over here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Commissioner Clark,
Here.
Short Commissioner Bill. Mayor Jake,
Here.
we have a quorum.
Any additions, deletions, withdrawals to the agenda?
What agenda are we talking about?
Special workshop we're on.
Special committee.
The special commission meeting we're on.
None for me.
All right, seeing that there's none, we'll move to public comment related to agenda items, good and welfare. Public comment.
No, we have.
The other one.
Okay, David Roach, Dale Village. First comment, we need someone to check into something Todd Larson was working with us about 10 years ago for Dale Village Mobile Home Park. They took away our left turn lane when you're going east. And we were working with the state to try and get a turn signal on 48th and Hallandale Beach Boulevard. And we haven't heard anything since. Todd said that he had followed up on it, and like I said, it's been about 10 years, and we really need that turn signal so that we can get into our park, since they took away our left turn lane that goes into it if you're coming from the west going east. So, and then number two is, once again, we just got our update on our annual police department and our new budget. And I noticed the numbers, and the numbers are exactly the same as what we're paying for BSO. And I'm a little upset at that, because we were told that it was going to be cheaper in the long run. And with the revised budget, it's exactly the same as what we're paying now, plus the fact that with the $3.2 million that you're doing a year, because of the startup costs, you had to ask for a $2.5 million loan. So that's almost 2 years' worth instead of 1 year's worth. So, big mistake. We don't need to vote on it. We can vote it down. I would like that. Thank you very much.
More public comment.
Good evening, Commissioners. Robert Janzer. A few weeks ago, I was watching the news, and I was watching Channel 10, and the investigative reports came on, Jeff Weinz here. And the first thing he said was, during his report, was, what in the world is going on with the Hallandale Beach Building Department? And so, to make a long story short, they gave several instances with not just lay people, but professionals, engineers, calling the building department of Hallandale not only incompetent, but dysfunctional. And after several interviews and some stories about it, the ultimate result was that they fired the building official, and 2 other people in the department resigned, but they weren't fired. Now I see on number 8, item number 8 on your agenda, you're discussing hiring Miguel Nunez full-time. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Miguel Nunez was that building official with Hochman. And if that's the case, given the serious possible implications to this town, I would like to suggest that this commission request an updated employment history for Mr. Nunez, including but not limited to reason or reasons for termination, any and all verbal, written, or formal complaints listed against him, not only in his formal employments, but as well in Pembroke Park as during his term here. At the end of that investigation or revision, I believe copies should be given to all the commissioners as well as the town manager for review and discussion at a workshop meeting before any hiring is done. I think that it's very prudent, and that would be my severe utmost wish that you do that. Thank you.
Karen Casper. And Calvin. Thank you. You could state your address for the record, please.
My company address or my...
It's okay, this is your phone.
Oh, okay. I'm Karen Castabeer. I'm here representing the Children's Bereavement Center. Our office is located in the Kendall, South Miami area. I'm here tonight to inform everyone about the Children's Bereavement Center. We are nonprofit and we offer free grief support to the community. So we all know about the tragic condom collapse in Surfside. When that happened, we formed a special group. So we reached out to the mayor, to first responders, to their police chief, and all that. So we have 3 main grief support groups. We help children as young as 4+, teens, and adults. Everyone is in their own perspective grief group. It's very tight-knit. Due to COVID, we're all on Zoom. When things are better, we will be back at our fixed locations in the schools throughout all 3 counties, Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach. So I'm basically here tonight just to make sure that Pembroke Park, everyone is aware of us. We offer these free grief support groups. I've brought some flyers for anyone who is interested. And also we offer training. Now the training isn't free, but just to inform you, we do offer training as experts with grief for anyone, experts, professionals, guidance counselors, victims, advocates. They're generalists dealing with the people and in terms of what's going on. A homicide, somebody's murdered, massive tragedy. This is where we come in when people are ready to start dealing with their grief after the funeral, et cetera, et cetera. And we are spreading more through outreach, word of mouth, and we want to make sure that you are aware of us. We're very happy to be able to help your community. Yes. Anyone wants a flyer? I'm happy to provide.
Do you mind leaving on with the town clerk a couple, please?
I'm going to put you on speaker.
Right here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is the next speaker's name?
Your name again is, ma'am? Hold on.
Put it on speaker. Put it on.
Sorry, we have 2 people are phoning in.
Your name, please?
Dr. Katrina Touchstone.
Okay, ma'am. And your address, please?
I'm sorry?
Your address for the record, please?
4821 Southwest 20th Street, West Park, 33023.
Okay, ma'am. Go right ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, my concerns is with the BSO contract. I'm a resident from the city of West Park, and I understand that Pembroke Park is trying to initiate their own police force. My opinion is that the BSO is not really sustainable for the small cities. Also, in addition to that, there's not really any community policing that is needed in a small area with a smaller population. I know currently in the city of West Park, residents are speaking against the lack of visibility, transparency, and enforcement of the laws. A lot of the residents currently do not feel safe, even though BSO categorized the increase in incidents of gun violence and shootings and so forth as not particularly crimes because it's domesticated. we still consider those as incidents that will cause the residents to lack the safety the security of the safety of living in their community. So I think it's imperative that you have more autonomy over what the police force does. And I applaud the town of Pembroke Park for stepping out and starting their own initiative in police force.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
One more caller, you give us just 1 second.
Hello? Yes, Jeff, we're ready for you to public speak at our commission meeting for Pembroke Park. Are you ready? All right, hold on 1 second. Go ahead.
Sir, if you could say your name for the record
Hi there. My name is Jeffrey Caskey.
and your address, please.
I live in Delray Beach, Florida.
Okay. You have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. 3 minutes is not a very long time for the couple things that I need to mention, but to cut a very long story very, very short, I have been a police officer, fully certified in Florida since 1999. I've worked at 2 small police departments, both as a volunteer reserve. I have never taken a salary. I consider it an action towards helping my community. The couple of things I have to tell you are that in a small community, the community and the citizens very much appreciate having their own police department versus being an afterthought for a larger entity. In my experience, having worked at these 2 departments in 2 different counties, Miami-Dade and Palm Beach County, that was the case. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that as a member of the Pembroke Park Police Department, I would be assisting the chief in setting up a charity entity, a foundation run by the police department, and autism and some other developmental disabilities would be a focus on the help that we give to the community. I personally have a tremendous amount of experience in dealing with autism and related disorders. I'm an autism parent, happen to be at the hospital right now with my autistic child. So those are the things I wanted to mention. I don't know if I came in under or over time, but I thank you very much for your attention. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, sir.
What is the gentleman's name?
Could you state your
Okay.
name again, sir, again?
It's Jeffrey Caskey, Jeffrey Kasky.
Thank you, sir.
And
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Jeffrey currently employed? I mean, is he?
We have one here. Thanks.
All right, I can get it later.
Is there any more public comment?
No, sir. Nothing on here.
Anyone from the audience? Okay. Seeing that there's none, we'll move on. And before we proceed, can I ask everyone to please silence their cell phones so they're not going off during the meeting? Very distracting. Thank you. Next will be new business. Number 6.1, Local Fiscal Recovery Fund, Town Manager Nunez, Finance Director Taubenfeld. Resolution number 2021-042.
It's working. Okay, my apologies. My microphone was working, but now it's not working. This item here is for is the agreement for the American Recovery Plan Act from the federal government. This is what gives the cities the funding. We stand in line to receive, I believe it's around $3.3 million, and this is the agreement.
Okay.
Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, authorizing the town to accept funds. The American Rescue Plan, authorizing the town manager or the finance director to execute the coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund agreement and all supporting documents.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call. Or discussion?
JC, so this is the agreement to receive the funds?
Yeah, to receive the funds, and the way it works is we'll get half of it upon execution, and then next year is like the second half.
It has a lot of parameters on what it can and can't be
Yeah.
used for.
They're continuously changing the guidelines as far as, or refining the guidelines as to what we can and cannot use the money for. And that's something that internally we're having right now discussions as far as how best to use the money. And we'll be bringing a plan forward to the commission in the near future.
Through the chair? Yeah, well, at least we're in the right direction, going in the right direction, so I think that's a good thing.
Good, good.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner DeVille, Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes. Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
Discussion and approval of Police Department budget, Town Manager Nunez, Finance Director Taubenfeld, and Interim Police Chief Howard.
And Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, hold on, I'll turn it over to Harry. Hold on in a second. I wanted to bring this item before the commission for their approval. A number of months back, there was a presentation, and a budget was given to the commission of $2.75 million for the annual operating costs. And after refining and getting securing the pricing, that number went up. And for full transparency, I wanted to bring this to the commission. It went from 2.75 to it would be a little under $3 million. Be just a little under $3 million with the loan. If you add the loan note to it, which is about for 10 years, that would go up $276,000. So the total price, the total annual operating budget would be $3.229,260 per these numbers. Next year, as of October 1st, our contract with BSO terminates on February 10th. So as the transition occurs, next year is going to be a little different. It's going to be higher next year because of the months that we're paying BSO and also bringing on the police force at that time. So that overlap creates an increase there. For 2022, for next fiscal year, we anticipate the budget to be 3.614386, but that's just next year, and that is also including of the loan payment as well. So those are the numbers.
Without the loan payment in it.
Without the loan payment, it's 3614 minus 276. So I'll give you that number right now. Hold on 1 second. Terrible, working on this calculator. Hold on a second. So if I take 3614 minus 276, it would be 3.338386.
Say that again.
3,386.
3.386.
3,338,386.
Okay, so that's the operating cost only for 2022 because
That's
of the
correct.
overlap.
That is correct.
All right,
Based
so
on the figures that we have right now that we've received from the police chief and from IT to set up the town's police department.
and so the cost of operation without the loan payment is
And according to this, and with these numbers here, let me give you that. It will be $2.953, so $2,953,260.
what are we currently paying BSO?
Their budget for next year is around $3.3 million.
Saying what was the other number? I'm sorry.
Sorry?
29.
Yeah, 29. 2.9 and change. Sorry, I closed my phone. 2,953,260.
All right, so that's still a savings of 350,000 a year.
Again,
financially.
but when you factor in, well, that's without the loan payment, so
But the key point is that we're getting a service that we're not currently getting.
that is correct. And I should also explain the current position that we're in right now. BSO, they canceled the contract. They said, hey, we're not gonna do this. When you hired your police chief, you're officially in a transition period. We got that letter. They said February 10th, you're done. So the town's options are continue, go back to BSO and try to negotiate something, although with the contract that we currently have is shared with West Park as well, as we all know. When we asked them for a price for us by ourselves, that came out a little over $5 million. 5.4. 5.4 around there. And the other option would be to reach out to Hollywood or Hollandale, so those would be our options right now.
Okay. And we've invested how much already?
Invested into the police department? I'd have to ask Harry that, how much total we've invested there.
But we've invested already in the department.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already secured, we secured the police cars already. We've already placed that order in, and I know there's been a lot of IT products that we have secured as well. Because again, we have a February 10th deadline.
Right. And Finance Director Taubenfeld, he's not even responding by call.
He's on the phone.
Or
He's
is
on
he?
the phone.
Do you have anything to add?
Hold on 1 second, sir.
Hope you're feeling all right.
Go ahead. Harry, go ahead.
No, I'm here. I don't know if there was a question that was specifically asked to me. I needed to repeat it because I didn't hear him.
I said, you have anything you would like to add?
Is there anything you would like
No.
to add?
Okay. No, I think Town Manager properly spoke about the situation.
All right. Interim Police Chief Howard?
Is the police department expensive? Absolutely. Am I trying to compete with the Broward Sheriff's Office? Not at all.
That goes. Wait, hold on 1 second. Harry, I'm going to leave you on just in case they ask you any more questions, okay? I'm going to keep you on my phone. Harry. Okay.
Go ahead and try again.
We were having an issue.
We're currently in the process of hiring.
Start over. I was echoing up here.
Oh, I'm
That's all I
sorry.
could hear was the echo.
Is the police department expensive? Indeed it is. All right, I don't think there's anybody that tell you it's not. We knew that going into this process. I'm not competing with the Broward Sheriff's Office, okay? What we're offering here is a service to the residents in the town of Pembroke Park. Unfortunately, the town manager neglected to talk about all the grants that are available. Go ahead, sir.
I will add there, grants we have done, and I apologize, it was not.
No, I
You
understand.
didn't do that intentionally.
Right. But
I just have to say, I don't think it was
I didn't intend for it to be negligent.
okay. Very good.
But, you know, we've applied for almost a little over $2 million in grants. Just to give you an idea, the Broward Sheriff's Office this year, in this fiscal year, received $5,000 for ballistic vests for the town of Pembroke Park. That means that they bought $10,000 worth of ballistic vests. Okay? Next year, we'll be entitled to that. Okay? You can take that, you can shave that $5,000 off. We also did a DOG burn grant worth $450,000 over 4 years, which pays for an additional 2 officers to work in our schools, which currently we do not have. So, I mean, yeah, is it expensive? Absolutely. Are we going to stay a 16-man department? Absolutely not. But we have to find creative ways to move forward, all right? And we're offering a service that you're not going to get from the Broward Sheriff's Office. It's just not going to happen. There, you know, the county's huge. It's 2 million people. So I think the service you get from the Broward Sheriff's Office is good, you know, but I think we can just take it a little step further in our own police department. So, you know, if you want to get focused on the money, yeah, it's expensive. But the Broward Sheriff's Office, they went up 1% this year. That's according to our finance director, that was the lowest percentage increase in 40 years. So what's it going to be next year? So.
No, look, and Chief Howard is correct. They've applied for a lot of grants. Some of them will come in, some of them won't. You know, you don't bank on every single one coming in. I've applied for many grants throughout my career, and you win some, you lose some, if you will. And I agree, and that money that we get will go towards offsetting these costs. Yes, absolutely, and he is correct. The vision for the department that we have here is more community-based. They're going to be another department in this town, another partner involved with the community that knows the community, going into each of the neighborhoods in the community. So yeah, I can't speak for how all of the benefits of creating your own police department. You can mold it in the way you want, and he's absolutely correct in that. My point here is, especially right before approving the loan, I wanted to point out the numbers. I needed to point out the numbers so you guys, the commission, go into it eyes wide open, okay? And that was my only point. I'm not taking away any of the benefits of having our own police department. It's a good idea, and it would really serve the community well, but I needed to show the numbers.
And through the chairman?
We're not discussing yet. Is there anything else?
Not at this time.
Motion to approve police department budget.
Motion to approve police department budget?
Second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Discussion.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, may I now?
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm looking for is that we don't get ourselves in a position like tonight. And I'm not saying anything negative. I'm one of the 3 commissioners that voted to keep this train rolling forward. But what I don't like is that we see these expenses after the fact or close to after the fact. Now, the fact that JC came forward with it, because he knew, because we had a meeting with him, with David Roach, one of the citizens that's voiced a lot of, not concerns, but just wants transparency. And we're going to have another meeting Friday, JCC.
Oh, we are? I wasn't aware. Oh, that's fine.
Let's make it 10 o'clock. Okay, and then, instead of 9. Just try to bring the information, bring it to a workshop where we could look at it. Then if there's anything between now and the voting meeting, we can catch it. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not saying anything negative. And that was all I had to say.
Chief, do we see the budget going up from what it currently is now?
Chief?
We're trying very hard to keep the budget where it was initially. The loan, I didn't ask for the loan. That was, the town did that, and they put it in my budget. I'm not happy about it. I'll deal with it. Yeah, we're not, in fact, I'm trying to come in under budget using, you know, grant funding, et cetera. But I won't know that till next month.
And I will say that the quicker we pay off this loan, the better, you know, and when we secure a lot of these grants, that will help that number, and it will help us achieve that goal. If not, it'll be 10
Stupid
years.
question. You start a police department with 0 funds.
No, absolutely not.
Cost of doing business, right?
Absolutely.
Well, there's
Expensive,
one
right?
other component in this too, Mayor, if I may. Apparently, when they signed the original agreement in 1980, 79-80, everything that we gave them from our police department to the sheriff's office, they have to return in kind. So if we gave them 20 cars, they have to give us 20 cars. I'm still researching it, and I reached out to Colonel Holmes, and I'm waiting to hear back. I'll be working with the town attorney on that.
Get 1980 Chevy Caprices?
I hope, I want Dodge Diplomats personally, but,
Okay.
Well, we will have to, obviously, we'd have to check the contract and all that.
Right.
And figure that out. But I do want to point out something, address a comment that Commissioner Clark mentioned. Remember, we've been on hiatus for 3 months. This is the first opportunity we've had to bring this forward, or a couple of months. So this is the first opportunity we were able to. Yeah, like 2. I'm sorry. So this is the first opportunity we had to actually bring it to the meeting.
I can assure you, Commissioner Clark, that I hear about it all the time.
That's good,
And
and you'll get it right.
I'm going to point out the fact that we did have a special, we discussed this prior to the hiatus, that we were going to have a special to approve this loan. And since the interest rate has gone up, but it's been locked into the 1.9
some.
1.9 something now is what our loan's locked at.
1.96.
1.96 from Mr. Taubenfeld is what our loan is at. And it was contingent upon this meeting today that we approve it, because we were supposed to have a special during our hiatus that we didn't have to approve the loan. So here we are at our meeting to approve the loan. It's time to approve the loan. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that we are having that meeting right now. We're still in recess. That's what we're doing. Okay, so you have your form, and we will get the job done. I think that myself, we just want to know, because we have to deal with the public. It's better to let them know, and what JC did, brought the information forward. Okay, hey guys, girls, it's changing. There it is. All right, just like we know that someone had mentioned we were going to save 600,000. Now we're down to I thought I heard someone just say 350. At least we know what we're doing. I'm
Still,
telling.
it's a $350,000
Let me finish.
savings, providing a service that we're not currently getting.
Yeah, let me finish, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. And so what some of the residents are actually doing is they're questioning. Just give them the information.
Wait a
Yeah.
second. You say some of the residents. That's one resident. There's 6,700 per the current data that we have. So that's one resident.
I would say that one resident represents, as a director or an involved citizen in that community, hundreds others. But anyway, that's not what I'm arguing about. I'm just saying I personally would like to know. That's all. So you didn't get to make the meeting the other day because of your situation, but you'll get to make the meeting on Friday. And so then all the questions that anybody has, you can answer, which you already did.
Yeah, no
We're
problem.
open, remember, you already have the one meeting with them, so. Okay, that's all I have.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner DeVille, seconded by Commissioner Clark. Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Clark.
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Number 7, resolutions. Resolution authorizing the issuance of a non-Valorem revenue note in the amount of not to exceed $2,500,000. Town Attorney Anderson, Finance Director Taubenfeld. Resolution number 2021-040.
I'm going to read the resolution number. We do have bond counsel here. Joe and Gary is here from Brian Miller and Olive. They have assisted us in this process. They drafted resolution closing documents. I have a document for commissioners to sign after this special meeting. Documents that Harry needs to sign, but we can cross that bridge when we get to it tomorrow.
Okay.
Resolution 2021-040, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, authorizing the issuance of a non-ad valorem revenue note, Series 2021, of the town in the principal amount of not to exceed $2,500,000 to, 1, finance the cost of the project, and 2, pay associated transactions providing that the note shall be a limited obligation of the town payable from non-ad valorem revenues budgeted and appropriated as provided herein, providing for rights, securities, and remedies for the owner of the note, designating the note as a qualified tax-exempt obligation within the meaning of the Internal Revenue Code, making certain covenants and agreements in connection therewith, and providing for an effective date.
That's it?
That's it.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Discussion? No discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacob?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Yay, team! Go USA, Pembroke Park, all right?
Number 8, discussion. We're at number 8, discussion. 8.1, hire Miguel Nunez as full-time building official. Mayor Jeff Jacobs, HR consultant, Menegazzo. Can you please report?
Hello, Mayor and Commissioners. So here's just a background on this item. Oh, I'm sorry. So Miguel Nunez was hired with the town of Pembroke Park on June 13th of 2019, which is approximately a little over 2 years. He recently had his last day with Hollandale on June 17th. So this is a request to basically have him join the town of Pembroke Park full-time. He's technically been working full-time hours ever since the beginning of August, but currently he is our part-time building official. So his request basically comes to that he would like to work full-time and taking on additional responsibilities such as the new amnesty program, as well as taking on any structural inspections, which we currently outsource that service, just to kind of offset a little bit of the cost of bringing him on full-time. So that's just a background on this request.
Okay. I have a question. Before, when we hired Miguel Nunez for the building official position, or after we had hired him, when we started looking for a public services director, we discussed him taking both roles and doing both roles in both positions. So I have an idea of Mr. Nunez taking that role of, if he's still interested in taking that role of the full-time building official, but also working as our public services director, or public works director. In the building department, he's got a strong second, which is Lucy. He would need the same in the public works department to make that work. What I'm looking at is salaries and cost of having another public works director in here, and the shortfall that we're already looking at on the budget, trying to make this work financially with the town. What do you think about that?
Well, I know that last year he was interested in that dual role. We would have to ask Mr. Nunez today if he would still be interested in that. But last year he was one of the finalists for that dual role.
What are we looking at the cost for a new public services director?
So a public services director
What's
is
the range
going
is
to
what
be
I'm
a
asking.
6-figure salary, but you're probably looking, and like the finalists that we have considered, we're looking at a range of anywhere between 100 to 120.
Okay,
Okay.
with benefits, was that
With
put it around
benefits.
170 with FRS?
we would have to ask Harry, but
Harry,
yes,
is that about right?
yes,
Yes, you're not that far off, but yes.
yes.
Okay, so
Any annual salary, you have to add about a 35% to it for benefits, give or take.
so you're saying the range is like 110?
Let's say between 100,000 to 120,000 is what the salary expectations are for that position. And it's within our current range, our current pay scale. At
Now,
least
how
that's
much
what
is it-
the other candidates are considering for that position.
That's about 170.
How much for the building official?
So the building official, Mr. Nunez's request was to come on full-time as the building official at 125,000. He's currently at 60,000 as our part-time building official. But of course, you all have to consider what the request would be, and of course, with the recommendation of the manager.
The position we were looking at before when we hired him full-time was like 95, I believe it was.
I believe when Miguel was originally hired here as a full-time building official, and then he became our part-time building official, he was originally hired at 95,000. That's the number that you're thinking of.
So what's the cap for this position?
Give me a moment and I'll tell you. I have it.
Mayor, may I jump in? I didn't know you were going to bring this item up. I'm not sure if I'm too thrilled with the idea of having him do both roles. The whole point in what we're looking in Public Works is somebody with experience in Public Works. And now I haven't really seen his resume, but I'm pretty sure he's mainly been general contracting, building official. And although it sounds good in concept, I fear that I think he needs to focus on the building department. He has a strong number two, but that strong number two will tell you that they are overworked. And there's a lot of work there. So there's a lot of work for him to do
Okay,
there.
so yesterday you came to me with a problem. That problem was a shortfall financially, right?
Right.
That's $170,000 right there.
I understand.
Understand what I'm saying? Now I'm talking about utilizing someone, if we don't have another director or assistant director in that position with the title of such, that gives us an opportunity to have a strong second and have a manager in that position, which the salary is less. But he's got a strong second in that position, which saves the town even more money for his secondary position in there. So I'm looking at possibly saving the town another 160, maybe another 240, 170, that's.
Well,
That's about $410,000 by bringing him in with the second, and redoing the positions within that department,
Okay, but,
and.
no, you finish. Yeah, you
I'm
finish. That's
talking-
right,
I'm
sir.
talking,
That's right, sir.
so
Go ahead.
I'm trying to talk through this here. So,
the salary cap for the public services director is 126,000, and the chief building official salary cap is 128,000.
126 and 128?
They're
Okay.
right there.
All right, so a combined salary for a position like that with those two, what are we looking at?
I would have to do the numbers to see, I would have to look at different cities to see who has a combined chief building official and public services director. Maybe they have something like a community development director title, something like that I could base my survey off of. But taking on two roles, it is a big responsibility.
Well,
Again,
he's
we
looking
would
at me
have to
kind of
have,
funny at the moment, so.
And you also, the other thing you have and I have to look into it. I didn't know you were going to bring this up, so I'm a little blind here.
Posed me with something yesterday, a problem, and I'm a problem fixer.
I
So-
get it, and I appreciate the enthusiasm to fix it. But what I'm trying to explain to you, as the building official, they have to be pretty neutral. And if you're a public works director, you're going to have projects that are going to be coming before the building official, and they're going to be asked to basically inspect their own projects, possibly. So I don't know how that. If there's a conflict there, I'd have to double check that. So I appreciate what you're doing. I just want, I
Hey,
want to make sure we
Well,
don't
he's staring me down,
exacerbate.
so maybe we should bring him up and talk to him. Mr. Nunez? Sorry to put you on the spot like this, but
No worries, I'm used to that. I'm Miguel Nunez, building official, Town of Pembroke Park. Yes, sir. I've been hearing on the back, and like I concur with Town Manager Jimenez, it's a very big undertaking, and there is a lot of responsibility. However, my commitment is with the Town of Pembroke Park, and I will do whatever is necessary for the wealth and benefit of the town and the residents. Therefore, it's up to the commission to dispose of me as you see fit.
but we had this discussion about a year ago
That is correct, sir.
about doing the double position and combining it, as we're a very small municipality.
That is correct. As a small municipality, you have several opportunities which we will allow as a manager to run both departments tangibly. I don't think there will be conflict unless the town attorney has any information that I don't have.
I think it's something that we should discuss
Yeah.
internally, because there are potential conflicts. So I think in concept, it sounds like a good idea, but I think we'd have to flesh it out.
Yeah.
Suss
And
it out
I
a little
agree
bit.
with that. Each job should be separate. He should do one major job, and you should have a service director that does one major job. I mean, JC is on point. There's a lot of work to do, and especially if you're going to run a tip-top shop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not feasible, I just need to explore the conflict situation.
Well, and it could be more than a conflict. It's also taking one person and extending them too far.
I understand that, but I'm talking about from a legal standpoint, my concerns
Conflicts.
from a legal standpoint, is there is potential conflict, and I'd have to kind of flesh that out.
Probably should have, anyway, I'm done there. Okay. But we need to have a system when we want to talk, okay?
It's called a commission meeting.
Yeah, it's a commission meeting, but let's, if someone wants to talk, if they have to get in line, that's fine. I'm just pointing that out, that we all want to talk.
Okay, right now we're in
Right.
discussion, and I was in a discussion, and we weren't
I
at
heard
that
you.
point for everyone to speak yet.
Yeah.
When I finish, then it's your turn, then it's DeVille's turn, and we do
Yeah.
that every single
Okay,
time.
no problem.
Is there a problem with that? Anytime we speak outside of the council, it's a sunshine violation, and it doesn't happen. So,
Okay,
so
why don't
what
you
you're
keep
saying
it
is
to,
one speak at a time.
why don't you keep it to the subject, okay? I agree we have an order, that's all I was looking for.
Okay, so is this something you would consider?
I will be at the disposal, and I will consider, but I will be at the disposal of the commission and the town manager based on the conversation. Yes, I will have no issues with that.
So it's still a position that would work under the commission then? I mean, in the scheme this is directed towards Yolanda, as a director position for the Public Works Director.
Okay, I like the savings idea, the town saving. That's a big plus, but I agree with the manager. I do think they should both focus on their each individual positions and not overload one person with too many tasks.
It's something that we can, I mean.
Well, you came to me with the $500,000 shortfall.
I know, but if you would have come with
And
me
you
with this
came to me
idea,
with
we
the,
could
hold on, you came to me with the $500,000 shortfall. But you didn't come with me with the solution to that $500,000 shortfall. And that's what I've told everyone in this town. If you have a problem, come to me with the solution. That's why y'all get paid the big bucks.
Mr.
So
Mayor.
when you have a problem, bring a solution. But you guys brought me a problem with no solution.
Mr. Mayor.
So guess what? I sat down the last day and a half and come up with the solution.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing with.
$110,000 that you're half.
It was just yesterday you brought that up.
I'm not arguing, sir, I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not arguing with you over it either.
It's an idea.
I'm telling you, I came up with an idea and a way for it to work.
It's an idea. If you would have bounced this off a little earlier, maybe we could have hashed out some of the details. I wasn't aware that you were going to bring this up today. So it's something that we have to think about. There may be some legal ramifications. We got to take a look, speak to the other the other staff members, see how it can work out. I don't want two departments to fail, for the sake of, saving some money. I just want to make sure it's the right way to cut.
Okay.
Okay, and not just to cut for the sake of
So
cutting.
what's your suggestion?
You're putting me on the spot right now.
I am.
I want to think about this and explore this.
No,
this option
what's
further.
your suggestion? What would you like to do? Would you like to wait? Would you like a week? Would you like 2 weeks? What do you want?
I can bring this up at the next commission meeting.
Workshop.
At the next commission meeting. The one in 2
Workshop,
weeks.
so we can vet it.
So we
and-
can have the discussions, iron this out, and then we can have that at the next one. But if we're not going to move forward with the Public Works Director position, then
Here's the thing, we can still move forward with that. That's the next item on the agenda. So it's on how you want to handle it. I
We
just
haven't
brought up
even-
a solution to a problem that I was thrown at yesterday. So,
my recommendation is, let's continue with the plan as it is, as far as hiring a building official and then a Public Works Director, if I'm being put
Okay.
on the spot right now.
all right, then you got to come up with the money. You got to figure it out, all right?
And that's what we're doing.
So I'm tasking you with that to figure out the shortfall.
That's been my task, and I'm working on that.
All right. Then I will entertain a motion to hire Miguel Nunez as the full-time building official, but I would like to discuss the salary on it. I think 110 is more appropriate.
Mayor, I would like to table this item. Not ready to make a decision on that right now.
And I concur.
I would like to speak to the manager, Mr. Nunez himself, and HR.
Okay?
So
You
would you-
guys, I just want to point out, you guys have had a great deal of time, both of you, to meet with them over this prior to this meeting.
for the building official?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay,
You
but,
just wanted to table
no,
it
I'm
and
not
you
ready
agreed
to do what you're suggesting. I think that is wrong.
But no, obviously you didn't hear what I just said. To hire Miguel Nunez as the full-time building official. Go back again, let me read it again. 8.1, hire Miguel Nunez as a full-time building official.
Okay, I think we should put it off like the other commissioner. I think we need more time. I'd like to talk to JC. I would like to talk to HR, and I would like to find out, I think a couple of people asked, what's the history behind here? I think we need more information. And I agree, we postpone it. What would be a date to postpone
Okay,
it to?
here's the
next
thing.
workshop?
There's 2 items here. I brought up the idea of making him the public service director. Obviously, that's not happening. The item that we are discussing is him as the building official.
I'm not
Table
ready to
both?
do it.
Okay, you guys want to table the
Let's
item?
table them both.
Then make a motion.
Okay, I make a motion that we table this item to the next workshop, which will be, JC, you have the date of the workshop?
The workshop, I don't know when the workshop is, but the next commission meeting is on the 8th.
Huh?
The next commission meeting is on the 8th.
Yeah, but let's do it, we go through the steps, okay?
September 22nd, sir.
September 22nd, 2021, at 6, what time would that be at?
Yes,
Mark?
sir, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. That way we can get our ducks in a row and come back.
There's second.
Second.
Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark to table this item, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
No.
Commissioner Clark.
Yes.
Item is tabled until September 22nd.
Right. Item 8.2, hire public services director. Mayor Jacobs, HR consultant, Menegazzo. Resolution number 2021-041.
Thank you. So we had 3 finalists for this position, Alan George, Randy Stovall, and Robert Clark. We did lose one of our finalists recently because he accepted another role while we were waiting to make a decision. So right now, we have 2 finalists left, Randy Stovall and Robert Clark. I did speak to them actually about 30 minutes prior to this meeting, just to reconfirm again their interest in this position, and they're both very, very interested. So with that said, I know you have the resumes there. I put together a little summary for you for each person in case you wanted to hear it, even though I know you've looked at the resumes and you've spoken with these gentlemen already. But they are within, like, their salary expectations are within our range, our pay scale. So it would basically be up to the commission now. And of course, to hear from a recommendation from the manager, who also interviewed these candidates and thoroughly looked at their qualifications.
And upon interviewing these three individuals, all of them, these three individuals were heads and tails. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Unfortunately, we did lose one of them, and I think you've all met and interviewed them. You have the last two candidates. You have somebody more experienced, somebody and then somebody that's young and hungry, if you will. If it were me, I'd probably pick, knowing the public works, I would recommend Robert Clark.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, okay, so everybody knows how I feel. I thought Miriam should have been hit, okay, but chosen. Unless somebody has changed their mind, do you still feel the same way, Ray?
Yeah.
So, at that, I'm going to say that based on the town manager's suggestion, Robert Clark as the Public Service Director.
I second.
All right, just so you guys are, discussion? So I'm just gonna be flat out, we got a shortfall in our budget of $500,000. This is another position that's gonna cost us $170,000 a year. So add that to it.
Well, get on the
Have to
stick.
find a way to make it work.
Yeah, get on the stick and get it.
Get what?
Get the money. Okay, it's got to come somewhere. That's you talking, you're doing it. So let's get it. Let's find it.
Why don't you
JC,
find
JC.
it? We have 5 commissioners up here. of
We do?
equal power
We
and
do?
Authority.
I don't see 5.
Okay, we have 5 for the town. There's 3 of us up here. Going out and getting it?
Mr. Mayor,
We'll find a way. We will.
I'm just saying.
We'll-
I mean,
We'll find a way. JC, I have all the confidence in the world on him, with him.
Well,
He
don't put
knows-
it all on me. I have a huge responsibility of sitting here as mayor and a huge responsibility to this community.
Well, then good.
And
That's
I'm
you
working on
chose
getting money.
the
I'm fighting with
position.
the congresswoman. I'm trying to get money from our senator.
Mr.
I'm
Mayor-
trying
That's part
to
of the
hold on.
job.
No. I get that, and I'm doing it. But we have equal commissioners up here who can also step up and do the same thing too. It can't just be on one person's shoulders. There's 3 of us. Y'all can step up too and help with this.
Mr. Mayor,
I said my piece.
I appreciate it. And
So here we are.
Harry
That's
and I-
another 170,000.
Harry and I are working on this. Okay, and we will, we're going to be, when we sit down with each of you to go over the budget, we're going to work this out. Okay.
Listen, I'm very much okay with this decision. So, I believe he's going to be a phenomenal person, and he will get this place cleaned up and rebuild our public works department the way it needs to be. And that's what's got to happen. Just like every other department in this town, it's had to be rebuilt. And this is what this guy's going to do. So I believe in him. I really, really liked the conversation I had with him on a little over an hour interview with him. So I think he's great for the job. So any other discussion?
Yeah, what about pay?
So
JC,
I spoke with him, and his salary expectations are between 110 to 120, which again falls within our pay scale. So I wanted to ask the commission for approval to negotiate a salary with him, myself and JC, up to, let's say, 120,000, not to exceed 120,000, and that way we can get back to him, in a more informal setting and negotiate a final starting salary for him.
okay, so I make a motion that the
I
HR.
already have a motion on the table. For the resolution. Called it. Can you read that back, Marlon, please? It's a resolution to hire Robert Clark.
The attorney would be reading out the resolution.
Right. You'll be reading it out, but there was a motion made in a second.
Oh, the motion was to hire, Mr. Robert Clark at a salary not to exceed $120,000.
Okay, I have a question. I want to make sure it's legal through the attorney. Before an offer, formal offer is made to the Public Works Director, that HR meet with every commissioner one-on-one to discuss what that offer is prior to it being made. Even though we come up with a range, that we know prior to the meeting what that's going to be.
Absolutely, that's fair enough.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
It's legal, yeah, as long as she or whomever else that means is not acting as a conduit of communication.
Not between the commissioners.
I understand.
Between
You
the,
asked if it was legal, and
Mr.
I'm
Clark,
telling you how it
Robert.
would be legal. It would be legal as long as it's one-way communication between you and HR, and that no, there's no passing of communication.
Yolanda,
Yeah.
understand?
Understood.
Thank you. Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right. Town Attorney, any reports?
Yeah, we're having our first charter review meeting. Thank you
Finally.
for appointing a charter review committee. Very excited. It's going to be Monday. We've already sent out the agenda. Any of you is welcome to attend, but remember, well, it's a publicly advertised meeting. You can attend, but you can't participate. But very excited about that, and that is it.
Right. Town Manager reports.
I just wanted to say, in case it wasn't clear earlier, I am in favor of this police department. I was just doing my job by bringing up the numbers. That's all I was doing. I wasn't trying to upset anybody or ruffle any feathers. I was just providing the facts.
That came into question at all.
Okay, good, good. I'm glad, just in case, because I'm doing my job, and I believe in full transparency, and it's better for the end product, to be honest with you, if you upfront. So I was just doing my job, all right. But I'm in favor of it. I look forward to it, and it's going to provide a great service to this community. That's it. That's all I have.
All right. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Clark.
Well, it was a fantastic summer on the Riviera. Only kidding. Okay, I have no report right now.
Cool. All right. I'll tell you guys what I spent last week or the week before doing. I took a week's vacation and attended the League of Mayors up in Orlando, followed by the League of Cities. So I spent several days up in Orlando. In the process, I come across a great deal of money to help our town out. Like I found a fund of $1.5 billion at no match funds to convert septic to sewer. Problem is, all of these projects require shovel-ready projects. This town has none. There's so much infrastructure money available from the feds right now, all requiring projects to be shovel-ready. We don't have any. So it's gonna pass us by just like everything else has over the years until we can get some projects shovel-ready. That falls back on our directors for Public Works, every other department that has these infrastructure projects that we need, but most are in Public Works. These need to be shovel-ready projects, and they need to be done like right away. They need to come forward. We need to get this money to help us out. This fund itself is a no-match fund, so we don't have to put up any money if we have projects ready. So there was a great deal of that up there. I came across another consulting firm that I'm setting up with JC. Mr. Segerson was there. They are working on the,
ARPA.
ARPA?
Yeah, ARPA, American Recovery.
One of these funds has some kind of acronym that goes with it. This is the ARPA fund of the 3.3 million. This consulting firm specifically goes through, they are digging through it every single day as the rules are changing with this fund on how it can be used, to make sure when we use these funds that every legality is taken and the town doesn't get in trouble for misusing these funds. So, again, I'm setting JC up with them to see how we can use these funds for improvement around town. We have a great deal that needs improved. I don't know if anyone's driven down Park lately, but still you need a four-wheel drive to go down that road. You get bounced around so much, you know, and that's just part of it. The sinkholes, the drainage, the sewer problems, the septic issues. There's so much infrastructure in this town that needs repaired. Now there's funds there. We just have to have them ready. So, Mr. Segerson was up there with Rhonda, and my wife came with, and we met a great deal of other cities having the same issues that we're having and the same problems. So it was great time to meet with all these. The classes were very educational and very informative. So I do have a lot that I've been meeting with Heidi with. I got more stuff for Heidi. I got more stuff for Public Works. I got more stuff for JC. Again, and I'm still trying to meet with our Congresswoman to get 1.2 million for our police department. So I still keep getting brushed aside, but at some point I'm going to kill her with kindness enough that she's going to meet with me. So if not, I'll find another way. So we're still working, but I'm out there working and trying to get this all done. So number 12, announcements. We have a Charter Review Committee meeting Monday, August 30th at 6 p.m. We have a regular commission meeting Wednesday, September 8th, 2021 at 7 p.m. We have a Planning and Zoning meeting Thursday, September 9th at 6 p.m. We have our first budget hearing meeting Monday, September 13th at 6 p.m. We have a workshop commission meeting Wednesday, September 22nd at 6 p.m. Our second budget hearing meeting will be Thursday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. And also before we conclude with this, we have one more little bit. I'd like to thank Joy for doing the book bag giveaway again. We were successful. I'm not sure she's here, and I don't know the exact number of book bags that went out with supplies. JC, would you happen to know that?
I don't know the
number?
exact number. I don't know the exact number.
Anyone here happen to know what it was?
I know one thing, she was out there all day working.
She
It
was
was
working
80,
hard.
80 some is the last number I heard, so I'm not sure of the exact
And I saw
number.
people coming in after that here at town hall. So
So
I know we're probably close to 100.
again, that's helped out a lot. I've also met with the principal of Lake Forest, and I still need to meet with the other principal of the other school. The county or the schools are fighting with the mass, and you guys see it in the news all the time. The principals are having issues with it, and it keeps coming back to the town as well. So we keep hearing about it. You know, it's where we're at in life right now. So anything else anyone else wants to add? Howard?
No, it's great to be back.
Ray? All right, number 13, adjournment. Entertain a motion?
I entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor, before we start the next one, we just need you to
Yep.
sign a couple.
Bring it
things
on
for
up.
the-
Motion adjourned.